Hi there guys, welcome back to the channel. You join me in the comforts of my back garden where I'm about to do a random number generator to see who lucky 3 winners are. So obviously, as you know, we've reached over 2,000 subscribers. Thanks again for that. Thanks for following along, it's been a pleasure. It's been a complete joy to share my experiences with you guys hunting these monster fish. So yeah, we're going to get on that and find out who you lucky winners are. So stay tuned as well, because you're going to be joining me for a new episode. So enjoy that too. Catch you in a bit. Right, here we go guys. Again, thanks for subscribing and thanks for following along, some of you long time followers. And here we go. Here's the 3 lucky winners, and the first winner is 28. Second winner 82, and the last winner is number 1. Wow, how random. Right, well, you can't get fairer than that guys. Again, thank you very much for subscribing and following along, and I'll shortly have a look and let you know who's won. Thanks again. Right guys, I just had a little scour through, and this is who the 3 lucky winners are. Martin Fawn, Raj McGuinness and DP Fishing. So well done to you guys, and thanks for taking the time to comment on my channel. So stay tuned for this new episode here, and keep following along. Got a busy year ahead, lots of new fisheries to fish with lots of big fish to go at. Really excited this year. We're in early spring and I've already had an absolute flying start to the year. As you'll see, that'll unravel as the year goes. Until we meet again, tight lines and be lucky. See you in a bit. Hi there people, welcome back to a special edition, a week in France. And there's the babies all set already. You join me in session. We've been here about, I don't know, about 20 odd hours now. Nothing's happened yet. As you can see, the leaves are bare. We're in deep winter. Me and a good mate of mine have decided to come out here for a bit of a Christmas social session at Crete Lakes. And things are looking up now. I've just got the rods out probably about 30 minutes ago. Last night we got here in the dark and we just sort of pinged a few bags out, and didn't really get a lot done. It was absolutely hailing it down and savage winds. I woke up through the night a few times, and it felt like what was a gorilla shaking my bivvy like a maniac, and it was just terrible storms. So hence this is the first time we're seeing the camera. We're going to be going through lots of bits and pieces while we're here. There's the house, and we're all sorted. Look, oh, the sun's out. It has literally not stopped raining while we've been here. Inside nice and homely, as you expect, as you'd want to be a week in France. So let me fill you where we're in now. So I mentioned last night we got her in the dark. It was cold, it was raining heavily, the winds were savage, so not a lot got done. But this morning I woke up, and as you can probably hear, I sound a bit nasally. I've woke up feeling like absolute rubbish today. Bad throat, sneezing, and yeah, I just had to pull myself together and get through it. And this morning I woke up, put about 6-7 kilo out there, maybe a little bit more, over 3 rods, 3 separate spots, just trying to find out what works on this lake. I've never been here before, but it is a prolific big fish water, so I'm confident we can pinch a bite or two. Although we're in deep December, you know, I'm sure we'll be able to winkle a fish out or two. So this morning the bait went in, and then I felt so shitty I wore myself out spodding for so long, I actually had to go back. Sorry about that, just had to change the old chips over, that one's full. So where was I? I think I was something about getting back into bed, baiting up. Yeah, I literally had to just crawl through back there, crawl back into bed for an hour and get a bit more sleep. Trying to sleep this virus or illness, whatever it is, off. But the main thing is the rods are out there how I wanted them to be for yesterday. Finally got them sorted, put a lot of bait in, as I wanted to put a lot of bait in. And we're where we want to be now. So hopefully there'll be a fish on the cards at some point. That'll be pretty sweet. And also we'll have a catch up with my mate who does a bit of editing for me behind the scenes on my videos and stuff. So it'd be good to see him with a fish hopefully and get him in front of the camera. So yeah, until then we'll catch up in a bit and hopefully for dinner time. See you in a bit. As you can see, it's finally brightened up a little bit. Got about half an hour, 40 minutes before dark. That'll put us at around 4:45ish. But there you go, looking good. It'd be nice if the rain just really slows down now. It's been a bit much, to be fair. It's been coming down so hard, it's ridiculous. But we are forecast for a bit of snow later on in the week, so hopefully there'll be a snow carp. So the guy across me you can't see there, it's a bit dark on the camera. Right in the middle lens, my single rod is basically pointing at him, which you can't see. He's had a couple of fish this afternoon. He got here the same time as us, well, a couple of hours before. He got here yesterday afternoon, we got here yesterday night. And he finally got into a couple of fish this afternoon. But he's also using a bait boat, so I don't know how that's going to go against me. Some of these French waters are already dominated by bait boats, and he's already using it to good effect, to be fair. He's just bite pinching, and he's managed to grab a couple of bites, and one of them looked a good fish. So fair play to him. My mate's got his bait boat with him. He's putting it to good use. He's fishing the snags opposite him. We'll hopefully get out when it stops raining tomorrow and go and walk down and have a little look at where he's situated at the minute. So hopefully he can get a couple of bites. As me, I'm sticking to the traditional, as always, the spom and cast. The disturbance is made now. I put a lot of bait in over all three rods. So the plan of attack is so that I don't have to keep topping it up. I'll just keep topping it up with a throwing stick now. I've made all the disturbances with the loud spoms and that, and yeah, minimum casting as well. Also, it's clear these fish are a bit shy of the old leads and spoms because it's quite a shallow lake, so they must just move off and get away from it, to be fair. And there's a lot of little snaggy areas they can do that too, so but I'm feeling hopeful going into this evening. Much more better than it was last night, just throwing a few bags out there. There's still a bit of low-lying weed and debris out there. So it's finally stopped raining now. I know I've put a lot of bait in, but that's going to be my approach this session, is a lot of bait. So I'm going to get the stick out now. Ooh, fish right there, really close in though. Definitely carp. Not a giant. Looked around the 20-30 pound range, but nowhere near where I'm fishing, way closer in. But as I was saying, I'm going to get the stick out now and deliver a bit of bait before dark, and we'll have a catch up in the night if I get a big one, or hopefully in the morning. Catch you in a bit. morning update time. It's been a couple of nights now, still no action. No fish landed, no bites had. So yeah, definitely had to get the old thinking plan out today. Already learning a lot. Today's been a very different day, calm, a little bit brighter, as where the first 20-30 hours were just saturated rain and grey cloud. I couldn't see nothing. So certainly learning, seeing where the fish want to be. They're fizzing up in certain areas, and definitely taking that into contact, and hopefully going to put it together and hopefully get a bite or two. So let me just flip you around. Zoom in on that. You can see our mate's bait boat there, look. Drifting across, he's run out of battery. Bless him. Happens so often in France, doesn't it? They always let you down. But there, anyway, so look, I've got one rod left on the stand in this peg, and that is, I've moved this diagonally left and put it out super long, where there's actually fizzing up right now. Well, I say super long, it's clipped up at 24 wraps, and I hit the clip nice and got that down right next to a small bar, or a big bar should I say. So I'm going to walk you down here and give you a look at the other two rods that I've changed about this morning. Right, here we are, down in the next peg where I've got two of my rods. Be rude not to, it is winter, might as well explore all the opportunities. There's been a lot of fish showing out here and boshing out, and this morning there was a lot of fizzing up going on. So the right hand rod is out diagonally as they are facing, and that one's out about 16.5 wraps. That's on a Ronnie rig with a small bag put on it just for a bit of extra attraction, and the left hand rod's got a bottom bait on it, and I just recast that about 20 minutes ago, and I've put that out at 12.5 wraps where I've been seeing fish fizz all morning and show. So I decided to clip up, get bang on the money, and I've just delivered 3 midi spoms of bait over that bit. Just chopped up crumb and chops, and we'll see how we go. The 3 traps are reset. It is winter, it is cold, but the fish are definitely feeding, and fingers crossed we should get a bit of action. Until then, peace out and see you in a bit. Here we are, people. It took a while, but we've come good in the end. Got an absolute unit in the retainer, all 56 pound of her. A nice December Christmassy looking carp. This fish is an absolute beast, and in fact my second biggest fish ever. 56 pound, let's see if we get her up. She's been well behaved, put up an absolute epic battle. But let's see if we can get her. There she is, 56 pound of Crete Lakes finest. Lovely colours on her, winter colours. Real beast, this fish. Oh, see if we can get a nice headshot on. Look at that. Proper made up, first fish from a new lake. And it comes in the form of this 56 pound mirror. Lovely. I'll get around. Have a quick look at the other side. Can you help me turn this, mate, please? So we just want to
lift it. I'll go this way. You go.
Yeah, that's it, mate. There we go. It's going to be hard for me to hold because it is a heavy fish, and this is not my great side. We kept loads of water on her. My mate Ray's just going to get a bit more water for me. Good lad. Even though it's cold, keep the water going on. Make her feel at home.
Flip her over and then put water on her.
That's it. And we're going to try and get her up. It's a big fish to manoeuvre. it's much easier if you've got a couple of people, someone to help you like I have here. And well, look at this, my second biggest carp ever. Ah. There you go, see if we can get her straight. There you go. Whoa. She just lost it. That's a big fish.
Pretty well behaved, isn't she?
She's been very well behaved. Let's get her up one more time. Whoa, easy does it. There you go. 56 pound. Boom. Crete Lakes finest. Oh! Right, I'm going to get her back. I'm not going to keep her out of the water any longer than I need to. We've done a couple of still picks before this. We'll have a catch up on what spot I caught it on and what bait we applied to it. Catch you in a bit. Right. Just had it in a retainer for about 5 minutes now. It's time to let her go. What a way to start this little winter venture at Crete Lakes. Probably the best behaved big carp I've had on the bank. Look at that. 56 pound. What a beaut. Oh. It's time to let her go back to her home. What an absolute unit of a fish. Check out that goodness. Celebration time after that big 56 pounder today. Got the old El Pesos fajita kit. All the sauce on that marinating chicken. With all the old chopped peppers. There's the ridge monkey I've got ready now. Slap a few of these little wraps in there. Bish bash bosh. Fold them up a bit. If I can. They're the best for cooking them. Get some nice and perfect. Loving life. Catch you in a bit. Hey guys, quick winter cold morning update. Nothing else through the night after that big 50. But absolutely buzzing. I didn't get to speak to you last night. The night's drawing really fast here actually, about 4:30, 4:45 time. And obviously I had that fish about 40 minutes before dark, so need to say no more, needed to get that taken care of. But this is just a quick update really. If you look opposite, I'm going to zoom in if I can. Them guys over there are packing up as they're meant to be, and I think we're going to get on the move. My mate Ray still hasn't had nothing. He's just had a fish that took him in the snags and he lost it. So yeah, the plan was always to move anyway. We've done 3 nights around here. I've had a bite. I'm happy, but we're going to move into a couple of better pegs that control a bit of better water, and definitely a few more fish about them areas. So happy days on that one. I'm going to get tidied up and packed away now, and we'll have a catch up when we're in the new pegs. See you soon. Right, new peg update. Just about finished sorting stuff out now. You can see the van's still a bit of a mess. Got bait and everything laying everywhere. Let me get this up, look. It's full of Total Chaos crumb, and the synchronised crumbed up and chops. What we got down here, that's what I'm feeding out with a stick. Oh, it's a bit lighter this way. Large amounts of the Total Chaos and the synchronised, both in 18s. and they're flying out 100 yards plus in the stick, so happy days. Just about sort of gathering a few bits about and putting it back in the van now. Have a little walk down here, show you where we're going to be pitched up for the next 4 nights. And here we are, here's the rods. Just finished getting them in, got about 20 minutes before dark. So I'm going to get a bit of bait on that left hand rod now. I've just recast it. I'm going to deliver about 1 kilo to that. And yeah, away we go. Little look in the house, which you can't really see at the minute. We'll have a proper update in the morning. It's been a long day. Don't matter how many times you move, it never gets easier, does it? Especially when you've got the amount of crap I've got with me. But you can see it's quite an eerie day. It's been like this all day actually. It's been real misty and foggy this morning. My cold's just about wearing off, so everything's on the up. Tomorrow's a brighter day. I'm feeling better. I'm in a new peg. Got a lot of tree line snags and a lot of open water. So hopefully the move will pay off. It is a lot of effort to get up and move. Hopefully we'll be rewarded. Right, I'll catch you in a bit. Well, very slow action. You can probably tell how cold it is. Hasn't gone much over 1 degree today. Dipped down to -3 last night. The lake has really slowed up. Forgot to mention yesterday, before I give you the update and we moved around here, I had a scraper 20, 19, 20 pound, didn't weigh it. Nice little mirror all the same though. That was when I was over in this peg. Right there, centre of the camera, through the trees. Had the 56 and the 20 from there before moving. I'm around here yet now, nothing as of yet, but I did smash the place up a bit last night, leading out and finding spots. So any resident fish that would have been out there probably might have moved away from the pressure. I've been dead quiet today. I've just made 2 casts and a little bit of bait, more bait out with the throwing stick. And that's it. Feeling really hopeful for tonight. It's getting down to -5 tonight, so it's going to be another cold one. You've got to be in it to win it. If you want these big girls banked, you've got to sacrifice a bit. I am still pretty comfortable, mind you. I've got the heater, got the hot water bottle, got plenty of nice grub, plenty of electric. Goes a long way in these dark, eerie winter nights. And it's been really eerie again today, hence for the late update. This has been about as bright as it's got. And I think it's starting to take its toll on the fishing, to be honest. I think if we do get the sunlight for the next 2 days, although we're going down to -7 in the next 2 nights, if we do get the sunlight, I think there's still a couple of bites left in it. Either way, I made up with a 56. But it would be nice to get a couple of backups and maybe one a little bit bigger. There's a few 60s in here, so fingers crossed. I'm fishing well, and I'm in good form, as I have been for the last 4 or 5 years, and I'm as confident as ever. All the rods have been reset within the last half an hour, and we've got about an hour of dark left, an hour till dark, and yeah, hopefully it will brighten up, not be so foggy. Don't mind the cold weather, just give us a bit of sunlight and be a bit kinder to us France, and hopefully we'll put a fish on the bank. So for now, I'm clocking off, get some grub on, and we'll catch up in a bit. Well, finally, just seen the first show since I've been in this peg. Been here just over 24 hours now, and I've seen what looked to be a good fish. Definitely upper 30, low 40 maybe. Big mirror. Come right out, middle of the lens, there. So I've got a rod right next to that. Fingers crossed. Things are looking up tonight. Just hope it don't get too cold tonight. -3, -4. Not too bad, but we are due Friday night to get down to -7 or 8. So I just hope it hovers a little higher than that and changes. So yeah, things are looking up for tonight. I forgot to mention earlier when I switched the camera on. Hold on, the camera might get a bit shaky for a minute. I'm just stirring tonight's dinner. I actually, believe it or not, caught a rat. You couldn't write it. I actually full-blown caught a rat on a Ronnie rig. So basically, out there to the left, where I have the left-hand rod out in open water, about dead centre of the camera-ish, I had a strange occurrence in the night, and a lot of bleep, 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 and then the stove pulled out the clip. And it's pitch black, and I was a bit disorientated, and it's really foggy, and obviously there's crayfish in here, so I ended up just leaving it, and it settled down after that. And it turned out a rat, one of them giant rats, I forgot what they're called off the top of my head, has gone out into the middle of the lake, dived down on my spot in pitch black, and grabbed my Ronnie rig and ate my plastic corn. And then, not only has it done that, that's obviously the occurrence I had up this end on the stove, he then swam my 3.5 ounce lead, because I'm not fishing drop off leads, so it might have dropped off. I'm fishing running leads, so it would have slid away from it still. And then he then swam with it all the way in, excuse my spom, right down into these snags, right next to my mate Ray in the next peg up, and went in his burrow with my line, and I had to pull all my line out of his burrow under the bank, and that must have been a good 20 metres under the bank, because I couldn't even see the top of my leader where it snapped or nothing. So just turning my grub again, sorry for the disturbance. So yeah, you couldn't write it, I actually caught a rat on the Ronnie the rat got done. And there's me thinking the Ronnie rigs have done me no good this session. They went and nailed a full-blown sized rat. Brilliant. You literally couldn't write it. Me and my mate are tugging the line out of his burrow and everything. But yeah, funny times, eh? Here's what's cooking down here. Let me get a zoom in on that. If the camera shuts off, it'll be the battery. Got some meatballs. Just frying them in a bit of shallow butter. And some red and green and yellow peppers, which I had left over from the chicken wraps. Got to cheer myself up after getting snapped off to that rat. I didn't end up getting my rig or nothing back. He is obviously chewing on it right under the bank there. But it was definitely a scary time. We were both crapping ourselves in case some steroid looking bloody staff-sized rat got ripped up out the ground. They can be vicious little buggers. Got enormous teeth on them. Right, these meatballs pretty much look done now. So it's time for the sauce to go in. I always use this one. I don't know if you're going to pick it up. Let me move it away from you, you might. Lloyd Grossman's the bolognese sauce I use. I keep all the meatball juices in there, and the butter and the peppers, just extra flavour in it. That Lloyd Grossman's, oh man, that does smell nice. That's going to be stinking along this bank. But yeah, you can see living comfortable, going to eat well. Going to let this marinade for an hour now and stick the pasta on. Out there, the traps are still set. Hopefully our next update might be with a fish. We're still yet to catch up with Ray and meet Ray at the minute. Hopefully he'll be behind the camera with a belter. I think we're both getting closer. He's still not had nothing as of yet. I've had a couple of bites, but it's really slow. But fingers crossed we'll get another bend in the rod. So I'll see you bright and early in the morning. It's going to be a much brighter day, and we're going to have a good catch up and a look about. See you in a bit. Well, good morning. Our first morning update from France. Got a couple of nights left, and they're all set to be beautiful, beautiful sunrises as this was today. Absolutely loving it. First sunrise on the bank in France, and this is what it's about. What is carp fishing without a sunrise or a sunset? It ain't much at all, is it? To be fair, the last couple of nights, the days have just pretty much rolled straight into evenings. It's been that miserable and dark and dull, and it really has been horrible and gloomy. And the fish, in fact, have showed no signs of feeding activity. There's not been one bubbling fish. It's been a calm lake, and it's just been horrible, horrendous conditions. So last night went down really cold, and we've got a really nice new clear sky for that. Let me just step outside the bivvy for a second. Everything's starting to melt. There's my scales, completely frozen. My bottle is frozen shut. Everything's so. I mean, look at that. I'm on a south-facing bank, and things are definitely looking promising. I'm feeling well up for a bite. A little patch of ice down there was the first light this morning. I'm feeling well up for a bite. I'm sure the fish are going to have a little nibble today. I know it's freezing cold. It went down to -5, but there's hope yet. Let's walk back here. Everything is frozen solid, including my bivvy. Let's see if this net moves. It's so nice to be able to wake up early and get out and see it all. Well, the net is still flexing, but look at it behind me, eh? -5, sunrise, and I'm happy. I'm so easily pleased. Just don't give me rain and grog and crap. I'd rather it be 20 degrees colder like it is now, and wake up and see a morning sunrise. So I can't guarantee another bite this session where we're at the minute, because realistically the temperature's crashed 19 degrees. So we arrived here and it was 15 degrees, and last night went down to -5, and tonight's going down to -7 or 8. So when you add all that up together, it's a total of 22, 23 degrees crash. But we'll give it our all. That's what we're here for. One more beast would be nice. I've got my trophy fish to take home already. I come here for one big winter beast, and I managed to get it. Ray's still yet to get his. We're going to go over to his peg shortly and see how he's got on last night. Oh, but that sun is so beautiful, feeling just warming right through my body. Even though we're in deep December, it's just amazing. I love it, and this is why I love carp fishing. Last night I was tucked up, got a little bit cold, but had the hot water bottle, and that's the main thing. But I'll catch you guys in a bit anyway. Would you look at that, guys, eh? The sun is shining down. What a spectacular late December day in France. Looks absolutely amazing. The lakes, I was going to say come to life, but there's been a little bit of fishy action. Definitely a few fish on the move, and although it got exceptionally cold last night at -5, they're still getting about a bit today, which is good, because the last 3 or 4 days the lake has just been dead completely. So I've just reset these 2 traps here, and I've reset one rod in the next peg up where my mate Ray was fishing. He's now moved about 40 minutes ago. He's had enough. He still ain't caught, so he's getting a bit anxious. I've been lucky enough to pick a couple of bites up, which is doing all right considering. I mean, I did explain to him, it's just not this lake. The whole complex is fishing really slow. You're doing nothing wrong. Me and him have fished pretty darn hard, and like I say, I've been lucky enough to pinch a few bites. He hasn't, and doing nothing wrong at this point, to be honest. Bringing in perfect rigs, perfect everything. You can't catch carp that don't want to feed, and obviously this time of year, as you guys know who fish through the winter months back in the UK, usually be the time where you'd be settling in on a bit of worm and cast, or a bit of maggot, or a bit of corn, and well, this is where it gets trickier. They simply just don't allow that here at Crete Lakes. It's a Borleone rule, unfortunately, and as good as the boilies are that we've got, carp get sick of boilies, and that's the end of it. They've been absolutely creamed all year round on boilie. They get to this time of year, they want something a bit different, they want a bit of natural. The naturals have disappeared out the natural water column, and that's when maggots and casters and worm and stuff, and even corn and stuff, come into their own. And unfortunately we don't have that with us at the minute, because that is banned on these lakes. So definitely a lesson learned. I won't be coming back here this deep in winter, because you want to be fishing a French venue, and you want to be fishing what you want to fish, not what you're told that you have to fish. So like I say, I feel really blessed to have got that big beast. That was my one trophy fish I was coming for, 50 pounder, and what an epic fish that was. And then shortly followed the next day by a low 20 or so. But anyway, we're moving on. We've got a couple of nights left. Things are looking up. Tonight is going to be absolutely freezing. In fact, the next 2 nights are going to be freezing, with Friday night, our last night, going down to -9, and tonight going down to -6. So yeah, as warm and beautiful as it is now, it's set to be another freezing cold night, which don't bother me. I'd rather that than the rain and the low cloud and the scum, and as long as I see a sunrise, I'm waking up smiling, and the fish would go down even nicer. So I don't quite know how much of this, guys, you can see of the rods, because it's pretty bright in my eyes. But I just put the right hand rod out 15 minutes ago, and the other rod went out an hour ago. I haven't felt this confident as of yet as I do right now in this peg. I feel super confident. I feel like any of those 2 rods can go. They both went bang on the money. The left hand rod is actually fished out at 29.5 wraps, so it's a long way out. It's in a deep hole that the bailiff put me onto, that they like to get in this time of year. So that's out at 29.5 wraps, and the right hand rod is out at just under 21 wraps, and that one's with fluorocarbon on, and this one's got the Nash Bullet Mono on. So I've got the best of both. I've got one in tight to a snag, and I've got one out in a big deep hole, both in likely looking fishy places. That's all I can do. And I'm going to take you a little walk down the bank now, and we're going to see the other rod. We're going to have a chat about mine and Ray's funny antics last night. And yeah, it gets a bit strange, but we'll get there anyway. So I'll have a little walk down there, and I'll be joining you up in the next peg. So here we are. Here's the little bonus rod. Look at that beauty. I mean, that screams a run. Look at it. Let's just get a close up on that. That single fluorocarbon rod, dead out straight, looks carpy as hell, doesn't it? Oh, little pike just showed to the left. And I wanged that out there at 24 wraps. Although this is the peg Ray's fished, and he's decided to move off. I know there is fish here, and they were quite a bit out beyond where he was fishing. So clipped up at 24 wraps, and I know there's bait out there because I put the bait in when I was on the other side of the lake at the beginning of the week. There's plenty of bait out there. I just put a small bag on, and I wanged it out there, and it hit the clip perfectly, and I seen the separation in at 24 wraps. Boom. And geez, fishing. Traps are set, more water covered, got the lake to myself. We're in deep December, freezing cold weather. One bite can turn it all around. Right, so we're going to get into mine and Ray's funny antics where I was here. So we've had a few bites in the night, believe it or not, but guess what, they were bloody rats again. So I've named Ray the rat catcher now, because I told you about one taking my bait out in mid water out there and dragging it into his hole somehow. Don't ask me how, but it did. And since then, me and Ray, between us, have had another 4 runs off rats. Yes, you're hearing it right, rats. So for those of you who have not been across the border too often, they have giant rats that look like rats on steroids here, with teeth that would chew through bone. Disgusting little things. Although they do look quite cute when they're in the water and they're alive. But shortly I'm going to show you a dead one and show you just what they look like. So last night I had 2 rat bites out there. They're actually diving down and getting bait in the pitch black, and chewed off both my hairs. So last night I wasn't even fishing. 2 of my rods, I was pissing in the wind. I had no bait on, just 2 naked hooks. So I've changed them rigs round now, and I've put metal swivels on I like to see him bite through that. So and this one here as well, I will be changing this later to a metal swivel and taking the hair off, because I need to be fishing. I can't wake up not fishing. So 2 nights ago I woke up and I was in a rat hole, and I'd been in there for 10 hours, and then last night I weren't fishing because the little bastards had took both my hairs off both my rods, right on the money spots and all. So gutted. But here we go, look, Ray actually managed to land a rat last night, and this is literally rat central here. So let's get a close up on this. Look, there's your average common rat, your average Joe common rat. You think that's quite a big rat, don't you? You know, diving down thinking he's the nuts. And this is not one that Ray's caught, by the way. This is someone else that caught it in the peg before and killed it. This is the one that bloody Ray caught. Look at the size of it, it's upside down. So we had to literally kill it last night. Look at the claws on it, because Ray had hooked it straight through the belly and it was going mental, and it had all line around it. And the only respectable thing to do at that point was pull it out of its misery at one quick swift pull to the head. And to be fair, I did feel really bad after seeing this little guy, but it was over and done with really quick. And I mean, look at the size of him, it's like a football. Look at the gnashes on it. No wonder he bit my hair off. What a disgusting little creature. But yeah, so we put it out of its misery, and I felt pretty bad shortly after, to be honest, because I enjoy animals and the outdoors, but I mean, it was dangerous. It was, you know, it was at the point, if it got off, it would, you know, that would take a real chunk out of you. And when you've got a rat cornered and it's in pain like that, you know, that can inflict some serious damage. Look at the tail on that. Anyway, it's borderline beaver size. So yeah, so we were joking all night about Ray actually having a brace of rats after he had that. We were actually going to pretend and open the retainer to you guys this morning, and there'd be a brace of rats in there. But yeah, we were joking about, obviously. But yeah, so we've had our last 5 bites over here have actually been on with rats, and it's getting a bit frustrating now because I'm not even fishing anymore because the rats are destroying everything. So tonight, see this little this is like the little stream that comes into the lake, and we've nicknamed it the M25 of rats, because they come in there at night and they come in numbers. So they obviously love the boilie. I'm just going to pepper shitloads of boilies all round here, just so they don't even get as far as the lake. So they just chew in there. I'm going to put a kilo out there, all the way around there, and hope for the best that they don't go out long. So yeah, there's all the aspects covered. Rod out here, 2 rods in the next peg up. Can't do no more. Fishing my nuts off at this point. Freezing cold temperatures. Lake shut down. Fish ain't feeding. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Fingers crossed. For now, I'm going to kick back, cup of tea, soak up this sun, and we'll catch up in a bit. Hey there, as you can probably judge, it's early morning. It's looking pretty nippy outside. So the weather just crashed last night. It was only meant to go to -4. I looked at the old phone and it was -6 by 11:15 last night. So it just took a surprise crash again. Tonight's due to be even colder at -8. Not looking forward to it. I'm alright tucked up, but the fishing's definitely died. Bit disappointing because this weather's come out of nowhere. We're meant to have a bit of warmer weather this week, and we're meant to, you know, and hope to get a bit of action all week, but this sort of weather has just shut it down. It's crashed all in all since we've been here. 22 degrees. It's got colder, so not much hope holding out for the fishing. I rang Ray, I said, you know, what we're doing, should we go home, should we piss off or what? But he's keen to give it one more night just to try and grab a bite, because obviously he still ain't had nothing yet, and I'm not going to begrudge him of that. I'm going to stick around and keep my fingers crossed for the lad, and hope he can pull a fish on the bank hopefully. But as for me, still with the 2 fish at the minute, nothing major. There's the lake. I can't believe it's not fully frozen, to be honest. Let me just show you around here. For once last night, no ratty action was nice. So what I actually had to do was go and bait up literally half the lake, all in the margins with loads of boilies. It's cost me 1.5 kilos last night to keep these rats at bay. And I had some like peanut meal, or like little chunks of peanut left over from the summer in one of my bags. So I sprayed that in the margins, and I think that's kept them occupied. You can see it's eerie, it's cold, everything is super frozen. The rods have still got ice on them, and even the line is frozen. Everything's done. Do you know what, back in the UK it'd still be possible for a bite right now, because I'd be fishing maggot or worm or something or other. But here, you know, the term pissing in the wind comes to mind. But it is what it is. We're here. I'm going to hang it on for one more night till we're meant to go home. Hopefully Ray can pull one out the bag and we can go around and get a bit of footage. But I'll walk you down to the old lonesome rod, and we'll catch up there. Here's the toilet block. It's not far from our peg. It's not too bad for what it is, I guess. Got the old toilet and the shower for when the warmer months. Look at these buckets of water. So the bailiff come round. I filled them up last night. They're solid. Bloody hell. Just got to pop round here quickly before we pop to the next peg. Here's the power point. Here's my phone, and make sure it's charging up. And no, it's taking a long while to charge up. I don't know what's wrong with their electrics out here. But yeah, anyway, let's go look at the other lonesome rod. Hey there guys, just a quick update. It's the last evening in France. You see, I've just reset these 2 traps here. I haven't even reset the stows yet. I've changed both spots now. I've had 3 days in the old spots, and if there was a fish there, I'm sure I'd have had a pinch to bite by now. But so the left hand rod there, I put a 20 wraps towards an old dead tree, sort of about 7 to 10 yards off a gravel bar. And the right hand rod I fired long. I put that at, I clipped up at 27 wraps, and I fell about 5 foot short, and I caught it 2 foot before it hit the water. So that went out there absolutely beautifully. The other rod up in the next peg there, just going to leave that one be. That's got a bit of plastic on, that can't really do no harm. Just going to leave it out there. I'm not holding much hope for tonight. It's going to be -6 tonight. It's not been over -1. I think it come up to 0 for an hour or 2 this afternoon, and it's back to -1 again already. So not feeling too hopeful. I said to Ray yesterday, should we just go home? But sure as how he wanted to stay and try and pinch a bite while we were here. So I've stuck it out with him, me knowing that there was not much point. But it's carp fishing, stranger things have happened. I do feel more confident now. I put both rods on different spots, and that's all you can do, is give it your all at the end of the day. I'm going to say I've pretty much fished my nuts off since I've been here. moved pegs and everything, and still nothing has produced. Still haven't seen a feeding fish in the last 4 days. Not a single bubbler. Nothing. And today I'm going to say I haven't even seen a single show. So there we go. Not looking good, but the rods are in and the traps are set. That's all we can do at this point. I'm going to save a battery. You never know, we might get a surprise tomorrow morning. Who knows? If not, we'll have an update and see you before we leave anyway. Catch you in a bit. Well guys, you can see bivvy's down, rods are in the van. We're loaded and ready to head back to England. Nothing else after that. Little small 20 I had. 2 bites for the week. The whole place literally just shut down. No signs of feeding fish or showing fish in the last 4 days. I think the -5 3 days in a row literally just shut the place down on the spot. But me and Ray did continue to get rat bites. He managed another couple of rats and I managed about another 4 or 5 rat runs. So it's clear this place has got a serious infestation problem, and I hope if I ever come back they sort it out. But one thing it has got, it's definitely got the big fish, and I got what I was after, a nice Christmas 50-pounder. So I'll leave you with that, and I'll catch you on the next one in the UK, and we'll see you on the bank.